Hello, my name is Hayley Lyons and this presentation will be looking at pet primates and social media. In this presentation we will be looking at an overview of exotic pets, primates as pets, animal welfare concerns, social media stars, the impact of social media, and a brief conclusion and some recommendations. Exotic pets are wild animals with a non-existent or very short history of domestication, often taken directly from wild populations to then live in unnatural domestic settings for the main purpose of entertainment or companionship. The trade of exotic pets exploits many species, but predominantly primates and large cats, and imposes a considerable threat to biodiversity, conservation efforts, animal welfare, and animal and human health. According to a World Wildlife Fund report, the multi-billion-pound wildlife trade industry is the second biggest threat to species. Just over half of the species currently traded are classified on the IUCN Red List as least concern. However, over a third have not yet been evaluated and around 7% are considered threatened. The exotic pet trade involves all 5 vertebrate classes as well as invertebrates, both in large numbers. It is estimated that around 1.2 million reptiles and 1.3 million indoor birds are kept as pets in the UK, despite the obvious unsuitability of the home setting to meet these species' biological needs. In addition to this, there are around 4,000 licensed dangerous animals within the UK as of 2020, including 320 wildcats, 275 primates, 508 venomous snakes, and 2 elephants, with a huge increase in these numbers seen over the last 20 years and many more unlicensed pets thought to exist. Sadly, there is strong evidence that a lot of these exotic pets will at some point in their life be deprived of at least one of the 5 welfare needs as required by the Animal Welfare Act 2006. These include a suitable environment, appropriate diet, ability to exhibit normal behaviours, the need to be housed with or without other animals, and to be free from pain, suffering, injury and disease. In 2018 alone, the RSPCA received over 15,000 calls regarding exotic pets, resulting in 4,000 of these needing to be seized, mainly due to neglect and abandonment, with owners citing financial burden as the main motivation for this. Primates are an integral part of the wildlife trade, with tens of thousands of individuals each year supplying the pet market, as well as for consumption and for medicinal purposes, with numbers increasing over the last 15 years. It is currently unknown how many pet primates exist in the EU, and it is difficult to ascertain true numbers due to the discrete nature of trading and lack of regulation. However, recent estimates suggest around 5,000 individuals exist in the UK alone, although some organisations believe the true figure to be lower. The RSPCA saw a 73% rise in calls about pet primates between 2012 and 2013. Additionally, licenses to own primates increased by 21% between 2009 and 2012, and sanctuaries are consistently reporting an increase in pet primates needing to be rehomed. In the UK, sellers are required to gain a license prior to selling primates according to the Pet Animals Act 1951. However, there is no obligation on the seller, even a licensed pet shop, to ensure the animal is going to a good home with owners who know how to properly care for them. An investigation by Born Free in 2014 identified 21 pet shops in England with a licence to sell pet primates and found that staff there lacked the basic knowledge on species' biological and behavioural needs and were therefore unable or unwilling to provide correct advice to potential owners. E-commerce sites and social media is the most worrying source of pet primates, with adverts mostly from small-scale private sellers often showing very young animals alone and in unsuitable accommodation. Between 2012 and 2013, at least 269 primates, predominantly marmosets and tamarins, were being advertised online. Marmosets, in particular the common marmoset, are the most commonly traded and kept primate in the UK, closely followed by capuchins, tamarins and squirrel monkeys. Of these, it is only required to have a licence to own a capuchin as per the Dangerous Wild Animals Act 1976, which is regulated by the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna, otherwise known as CITES. The keeping of primates as pets has been banned in 15 European countries, as well as Israel, Honduras, Brazil, India and 18 US states. However, it is currently completely legal to own a pet primate within the UK, despite being potentially dangerous wild animals. The Animal Welfare Act 2006 provides some protection for pet primates, with owners having a legal duty of care to meet all of the animal's various needs. DEFRA's Code of Practice for the Welfare of Privately Kept Non-Human Primates was introduced in England in 2010 and outlines the ways in which owners can meet the needs of their pets in order to comply with the Animal Welfare Act. Unfortunately, this code is not species-specific and, as it is non-binding, breaching it won't necessarily lead to a prosecution. Awareness of the code among local councils who are responsible for approving licences to keep wild animals is very low at about 50%, and there is little evidence of primate owners either knowing about it or actually following it. There are clear animal welfare concerns when it comes to the increasing trade of primates for the pet industry, for example mortalities associated with restraint and transport as well as wild population depletion. Some pet primates will also inevitably be abandoned, causing environment-based welfare concerns due to the negative effect non-native animals can have on local species. The introduction of exotic pets is also a huge disease risk, as it has been found that a quarter of mammals in the wildlife trade harbour 75% of known zoonotic viruses. Primates are one of the mammal groups at the top of the list of species presenting a significant disease risk, with imports of primates being identified as the source of several epizootics within Europe and the US. Another concern with the growing popularity of primates as pets is the unsuitability of these animals to life within a home. Being housed in a domestic setting is incredibly unnatural for primates. Captivity restricts these wild animals in terms of choice of diet, housing, and social interaction, which can lead to high levels of stress. Currently, there is no official guidance on species-specific space requirements for pet primates. The more common smaller species kept as pets, such as marmosets, are typically housed in small, barren cages, despite having a typical home range of about 0.4 kilometers squared. They will also spend most of their time inside without the appropriate UV light, temperature, or vitamin D provisions, which can lead to various health problems such as metabolic bone disease. An appropriate diet is also essential in ensuring high welfare. However, it has been identified that vitamin deficiencies are very common in pet primates, thought to be mainly due to the provision of unsuitable diets. Enrichment is vital for any animal to express their normal behaviours. Primates are highly active and intelligent animals who spend up to 40% of their time foraging and feeding and require a diverse and stimulating environment which is unlikely to be provided within a home. This combination of restricted space and limited capacity for environmental enrichment results in pet primates being unable to express their full repertoire of behaviours when kept as pets. Behaviour problems are commonly noted in pet primates, usually resulting from social isolation, with those housed individually more likely to show stereotypic behaviour. When kept as pets, primates show an increased level of abnormal behaviours such as coprophagy and self-mutilation. Between 2001 and 2008, more than 60% of cases concerning primates reported to the RSPCA involved individuals housed on their own. DEFRA's Code of Practice recognises that social interaction for primates is vital for stimulation, learning and enjoyment. Removing primates from their social group in the wild and placing them with only humans for company can have serious psychological, emotional and behavioural welfare implications. Despite this, many social species sold as pets in the UK are kept alone. There is also a clear lack of knowledge amongst primate owners with regards to how to properly care for them. There have been many celebrities, both past and present, who have been known to keep pet primates. Musicians Justin Bieber and Chris Brown have owned pet capuchins, actress Kirstie Alley at one time kept 14 ring-tailed lemurs as pets, and more famously Michael Jackson owned a pet chimpanzee called Bubbles. Even when not owning their own pet primate, celebrities have been known to showcase selfies with primates on their personal social media accounts, often taken whilst visiting tourist attractions. This is considered to be problematic. Firstly, as research has shown that simply seeing chimpanzees in mainstream media can lead the public to believe they make good pets, and secondly, since the public will often imitate celebrities in order to enhance their own self-esteem, this may in turn lead to the popularisation of pet primates amongst celebrity fans. To the younger generation, Instagram stars, bloggers, and YouTubers can be more influential than typical A-listers. Brother Nature, a social media celebrity with almost 2 million followers, regularly posts images on both Instagram and Twitter with a cotton-topped tamarin and ring-tailed lemur within his home. TikTok is another entertainment platform known for featuring exotic pets, in particular primates, for example slow lorises and pygmy marmosets, which are particularly popular with viewers. At Here Is Your Monkey Content is a TikTok account with 18 million followers, which mostly posts videos of a pet tufted capuchin named Georgie Boy, wearing costumes, playing with children's toys, and eating human food alongside his owners. His recent passing at just 12 years old was reported on a number of global news sites, showcasing his popularity amongst social media users. Some primates online can be considered social media celebrities in their own right. The Senegalese bush baby Pizza Toru is one example, whose owners post images and videos as if the animal itself were doing it, to their 451,000 large following. Similarly, Monkey Boo is a pet capuchin with his own website, but is mostly known for opening packages, eating food, and playing with toys in YouTube videos posted by his owner to a following of 2.5 million, with one video of him eating a banana viewed 285 million times. The comment section of these social media posts often portrays the viewer's desire to own a primate as a pet. Studies show that this desire is not likely to be impacted by education on conservation status, and that actually the more endangered a species is, the more appealing they become. Commenters will often ask where and how the owner purchased their exotic pet, making social media an ideal place for both legal and illegal traders to advertise their business. It is well known that the sale of live wild animals is facilitated by the internet through e-commerce sites such as Gumtree. However, recent increase in regulation of these websites mean a large portion of advertising and sales of exotic pets now occur through social media platforms such as Instagram. Although on a positive note, Facebook has recently banned all sales of live animals. An increase in public interest in exotic pets, particularly true amongst the younger generations, is considered to be at least in part a response to the increasing use of social media. Due to its widespread availability and power to influence public perception, social media not only has a direct impact on animal trade through normalizing the selling and buying of exotic pets, but also has an indirect influence through the exposure and spread of viral images and videos, which enhance the attraction to these animals and entice viewers to acquire them for themselves with little regard for its illegality. As the largest global online video website with more than 2 billion users in 2020, YouTube is considered to be one of the most influential global social media platforms. YouTube allows users to create, share, and engage with global content featuring exotic pets, and although the impact of YouTube on the pet trade has yet to be fully understood, it has been suggested that it is used to encourage demand for exotic animals as pets. In one study, over 90% of the videos looked at displayed human interaction with either a wild cat or a primate, and out of all of the primate videos, those involving vervet monkeys attracted the highest number of comments, closely followed by capuchins and macaques. Despite recently joining the Coalition to End Wildlife Trafficking Online, which aims to clamp down on the advertisement of illegal wildlife products, social media is inadvertently contributing to the trafficking of wild animals. With its representation of cute and cuddly pet primates and controversial husbandry practices, such as putting primates in nappies and clothing designed for humans, social media has a clear effect on the welfare of these animals when kept as pets. Unlike other pets, primates have not been selectively bred to tolerate living in households in close proximity to humans, and therefore suffer greatly from social isolation, abnormal behavior, and crippling health issues. Keeping these behaviorally and biologically complex animals in domestic settings has the potential to cause a wide variety of welfare issues, ranging from vitamin deficiencies to increased risk of displaying stereotypic behavior. The solution to the pet primate problem for many countries has been a complete ban on owning these animals. The Animal Welfare Kept Animals Bill, currently making its way through the House of Commons in England, intends to make owning pet primate an offence, limiting the keeping of primates to those doing so at a zoo-level standard. It is clear to see the benefits of a blanket ban due to the incompatibility of primates within a domestic setting and a severe lack of knowledge amongst owners. However, some argue that a ban would be costly, difficult to enforce, and that current legislation could be utilised more effectively before new bills are introduced. The RSPCA has criticised the proposed bill, acknowledging that it would not prevent the legal trade of primates between licence holders, and instead recommends the introduction of a positive list, which would restrict species according to a specified list of criteria. In order to tackle the huge issues within the exotic pet trade, Born Free recommend the following: a review and update of current legislation to reflect the sales of animals on the internet, mandatory licence inspections, and regularly publicising data on the welfare concerns, particularly mortality rates, amongst primate suppliers. One identified action which can also be taken to help tackle the primate pet trade would be to increase public awareness of current laws and welfare concerns associated with keeping these animals, and to work with high-profile social media accounts and celebrities to avoid publishing close contact with primates online. It is important that viewers are informed of the consequences of keeping primates as pets, and how their continued support of this content via social media likes and comments is encouraging the exploitation of, in some cases, already threatened species. Social media has the potential to be used as a tool to advocate against exotic pets and to tackle the illegal wildlife trade. However, this needs to be combined with cooperation between government agencies and NGOs in order to raise consumer awareness of the animal welfare concerns surrounding the exotic pet industry.